So, I think this is saying in an hour of night flying. Okay. It doesn't really line up, does it? Hour of night flying, 3 hours of day flying, 4 hours of total flight time. I suspect that that's Hobbs meter time. Don't mind the music. It's one way to get the know how much TDM time I have. What am I gonna fly? What am I gonna fly? Am I gonna fly that? I mean, I could do a complete end-to-end flight in that, or let's see what we got here. We got jets. Could do the CJ4. Just to sort of get to know it. Let's see, what are the other turboprops? Not gonna fly the King Air. If I do fly the King Air, it'll be from sitting on the runway, because I'm not going to go through that startup. That's one thing that will destroy my desire to fly. And then I got these. Not that I want to do a flight in one of these. Dreamliner's interesting. Well, let's see. If I go here, I mean, just for fun, right? Just for fun. And let's good thing they got a big hangar. Look at the size of that thing. Oh, profile. Go back to welcome. Let's change our flight plan. I was gonna take a, well, Miami Executive. How big is the runway there? Does it say if I zoom in? No, not going to take a 747 off on that unless it's empty. But we could change this to Miami just for fun. Just come on. Just to take a look. I'm not going to fly, I promise. But I just want to take a look. We can look, right? I flew a 747. I paid, you know, I got the PMDG and I flew it maybe twice. It's not quite the same as flying a 737. I mean, it's obviously size-wise, but just the FMS is different. Somebody that flies Big Iron all the time would not have any problem with it. First time I saw a 747 was at Miami Airport, actually. Oh my gosh, it actually loaded. So let's just let this thing do its thing here for a second. Thing isn't the best at taxiing a 747, is it? Look at this. Is it eventually going to make it onto the runway? It's 12:07 a.m. Alright, we've watched it taxi enough. So that's where we are. No, 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 no. Don't do that. Let's go. Gotta press escape. Escape. And we want to go. There we go. Well, actually, that won't work. It's close. I mean, I'm not going to fly this anyway, but at least I've got that on. At least it won't go nuts. Alright, so now let's apply that and save, go back, and resume. So, if I go to plan mode, range doesn't work? Really? Holy crap. Wow. Well. I mean, it's a little bit goofy anyway. What is that over there? Oh, okay. What do we got down here? Well, it looks good. They've got engine 1 and 2 mapped, but that's it. So we can... Now, when I loaded this up last time, we had a sliver of a moon, and now we got a half moon. Same night. So, yeah. anything is in this airplane, I'm most definitely not going to fly it. Alright, I've looked at the 747. This one, that's weird. There we go. I've looked. Let's escape. And let's go. Oh. So, let's go. Yeah. Number one, I don't have my controls mapped to anything. And number two, I have no idea what I'm doing. So that ain't gonna happen. So did you figure anything out? Did you try to do anything? Do you still have it, Lucas? Is it still killing your sim, your PC? Oh, profile. My hangar. No, we're not gonna fly that. That's ridiculous. What I'm thinking is I might fly to the Bahamas. Maybe. And I could take the CJ4 or the Longitude. Sitting here trying to think of what the speeds are for a CJ4. I can open it up. I found out that when I landed the other night in the Longitude, alright, let's go back. Okay, so there it is. And then we can see what the cockpit looks like. So it's pretty basic. Let's do this one. So from the outside, you can see it's got that. I can do this, right? Yeah, it's got the wide wing. It doesn't have the swept wing that the Longitude has. Try to make FS 2020 run, but no. So the only way will be buying a new PC and selling this one. Wow, I cringe thinking how much a PC costs you. I don't know what this does. Oh, that's that. Alright, so if I go back, and then I've already got a flight, I hope. There's my profile. Badges. How many badges? I've got no badges. Still got 4 hours. Next level is at 50 hours, is that right? See, I had a flight plan, it seems to have disappeared. Miami. Set as departure. Set as arrival. And we'll go high altitude airways. It says 20 minutes. Really? Okay, Bill, give us your thoughts. Give us your thoughts here. That flight is awfully short. I might try to do one up the coast. Here for us, a PC equal yours costs 10,000 reals. Holy cow! How do you pay for that? Is the graphics. I'm not going to say that's all it has. It depends on your perspective. I mean, from your and my perspective, the only thing is graphics. But to somebody who's got Xbox or something like that, you know, they can learn some stuff. And someone who's never flight sim before, they can learn a whole lot. You know, I mean, the flight dynamics seem like they're passable. At least I would even say they're better than passable. And the graphics, they need to work on the coloring. Yeah, they need to work on more than just the coloring. The systems need a lot of work. They need a lot of work. And I mean, they could start out with the simple things. I mean, what's amazing to me is that they've got a starting point on so many different kinds of FMSs. You know, the Collins, the G3000, the G1000, which isn't much of a stretch, right? So why are we floating in the air? That's just freaking beautiful. I could just stare at that all day. That would cost about 6,000 reals. Wait, you said it cost 10,000. I was saying it would cost 6,000. Oh, I see. Would be an i7 9700K, which is fine. 16 gig of RAM, that's decent. GTX 1660. That would rather see you get a 10. Well, I don't know. I don't know how a 1070 compares to a 1660. You're using the AP. Well, you know, and I've had the AP go bonkers on me on X-Plane too occasionally. But, you know, it seems like it's going to be a fairly common thing. And hopefully I'll be on the ground. No, I am actually in the sky. Why am I in the sky? Alright, so I gotta fix something here. And so, you can't really pause. Let's see, so, let's do this. Let's do this. Alright, and I've got to guess where my head should be to fly this plane. I'm gonna guess there. And we're gonna do a Control Alt 8, and then I'm going to move my view over here and do a Control Alt 4, and I'll move my view over here like that. I can do a Control Alt 6. I'm going to move my view over here. got it. The button pause break pauses the game. Yeah, there's two pauses. Let's see, I don't have a pause. Yes, I do. I have a pause break button. Actually, I don't know why I'm flying. I do not know why I'm in the air right now. Looks like I'm down around the Keys, huh? How high am I? 5,000 feet, slowly climbing. So what happens if I hit Alt right now? This is dangerous. See, that disappeared.
Overspeed.
Alright. Definitely overspeed. How do you start a flight? Pick a parking place. You go to a parking place. Don't go into the runway, go to the parking place. You have to set a parking position and not set the airport. Yeah. Look at this. I'm gonna change the time of day just a bit. This is really me farting around. Yeah, we say all it has is graphics, but look at the graphics. And then we've got these pauses too occasionally. But I mean, that's the ocean. There, let me bring up the time of day a little bit more, because I want to take a good hard look at that. Take a really good look at this ocean. That's really pretty much to me about too perfect. But on the other hand, if I add wind layer and then speed. I don't know if that changes the water or not when you add gusts. This is just too fun. Yeah, they are. Look at that. Let's see, that looks more like, to me, like it should look. Maybe not quite that much. Maybe, you know, because we're only 6,000 feet here. That looks like I would think the ocean would look at, you know, out at sea at 5,000 feet. Yeah, did I make any sensitivity changes? In fact, I should look at that. I cut it way back, like minus 80 or something. It's on the left side of the slider. That's what it should look like to me. And the water down here in the Caribbean is clear. You can see the bottom. Why won't it get closer than that? Can't really get much closer than that, can I? You know, so you can see the cloud shadows. So that's a nice touch. Am I even coming close to going where I'm supposed to be going? Let's see. I'm at 5,200 feet. Just cruising along. I don't know this autopilot worth it. Okay, so engage autopilot. And let's turn the yaw damper on. And is alt on? Alt capture. And just gonna cruise along here at 7,000 feet. Yeah, screwed up, I hit alt. And then VS. How are we doing on speed? Doing fine. See, to me, that's a little bit jerky. But this display to me looks better than, well, no it doesn't. It looks about the same as the TBM. These little digits, it's just fuzzy is all it is. I can read that somewhat. So I'm going to cut this wind down because it'd be insane to try to land this with a 40-knot wind. Oh, let's see, and I'm on so this I don't think there's much point in doing that. I can't go to route. This looks an awful lot like the next. Okay, so there are differences. This is not the same as a min arrival. We could shoot the ILS to 1.4, right? I don't know what that long delay was there. And we can go there's route, and that's fine. We can activate that. Come on. It's a long delay. Display menu. So what if I wanted to see, oh, there's my flight plan button. Yeah, what I did is I mapped my hat switch to show custom views. So there's my forward custom view, my left custom view, my right custom view, and my back custom view. So, and then to activate the custom views, you hit Control Alt and then a number. So my forward custom view I assigned to 8 because looking at the number keypad, it's forward like the number 8 is on the numpad. 2 is backwards, 4 is left, 6 is right. So I use Control Alt, 2, 4, 6, and 8 for those 4 displays. And this is 4, that's 2, there's 8, There's 6. That's the anop. That's the altimeter. I have no idea how far we are. Let's see, and if I click nav, now what's it doing? Well, my friggin' flight director's not on either. See, this is going to be a bear because you can't really read that. LNAV 1. Now I'm in roll mode. So now I'm on nav mode. But where's my line, right? So going back to the flight plan. So it wants KMIA. Alright. And then we can go to legs. Flight plan. And you can tell I really know what the hell I'm doing here. I was counting on the FMS being, because I don't want to screw around with an FMS that's broken. And destination is MYNN, which it had. And I don't like the fact that I can't shut off this friggin' head movement stuff. There may be a way to do that with instrument views, but I don't remember how to show the instrument views. Oh look, they got dim and bright. Does that work? And then performance, nope. Okay, so now if I do departure arrival, ILS 14. Okay. There's no place to activate that. So I just go to route, activate, then I can go to perf init. It says I can go to perf init. Can't go to perf init. Alright, back to flight plan. Back to legs, nothing on the legs. So I don't know if any of that worked. I had a flight plan picked out. Do you know if these panels are this way in the real citation? They pretty much are. This is the old Collins system. You know, so it's pretty much like this. But I have no idea what to do with this FMS. Alright, so departure arrival. I've already selected that. And oh, there's route. It's perf init. No, nothing to do there. Flight plan director. Yeah, I mean, it may be this messed up because of my what I did. But I selected a approach. So why doesn't that show up here? Alright, hold on. Click next. Okay, so there's nothing there. But I've got the approach. But how do I do a direct to? Well, it looks like I'm on the magenta line anyway. And why is my airplane sneaking up here, over here? The checklist button. This one's going to take a lot of work. And these two are in sync. So, and there's that mouse pause thing. Whenever I move my mouse over this thing, mouse pauses. Yeah, with 3 monitors, 10 frames per second, not more, even with low settings. Really, triple monitors and NVIDIA surround. Well, yeah, I don't know what to tell you there, guy. I honestly think I should be sitting a little higher here. Won't let me move any further to the left, which is weird. I think for sure I should be sitting at least this high. I don't know how to zoom this out. Navigate through menus, pan map. Some of their click spots could use some work. I assume that I can pan this out. There's a wind arrow. So I'm going to Hinsey, it says right there. 105 miles away. And my suspicion is at Hinsey I need to be about 2,000 feet. Open up camera at bottom shows pilot instruments quick views. Open up camera at bottom shows pilot's instruments. Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. But how do I zoom that out? Maybe you can't, because there's the zoom. So zoom doesn't work. You know, when I loaded up the 747, I actually loaded it up with a flight plan. Let's see, I'm even off the screen here. So now what? Well, it shows present position. Alright, so I'm basically showing the same thing in both places. So maybe there's a bug, I don't know. Alright. Not very useful. Because the weather, that's terrain, there's weather. This one maybe, I mean, in some ways these are like, I was thinking about this earlier, in some ways, your TBM is at Jacksonville and X-Plane, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I need to do a X-Plane flight, actually. The glare out the front, probably fairly realistic, but what a pain, huh? So I've got the approach loaded. I don't know anything about the approach. Rudder trim works. Flaps, my flaps up? My gear's up. Yeah, there's the pointer there. What is that? Exterior lights, nav, strobe, beacon. Those don't work. We don't need no stinking passengers, man. That doesn't work. That should work. It's the brakes. Oh, it's the brakes. Don't pull the brakes in the air, right? Yeah. Let's see, so can I go forward? How do I move backwards there? No, that's as far as it lets you go. So you can't go into the cabin for some reason. Very strange. Where's our fuel? ITT. Got 2,200 pounds of fuel. I know, I looked and it's like it was too long of a flight for tonight. I can't do that long of a flight tonight. From Miami, that's what I want to do. I want to go from Miami down to Jamaica. So if I can get down here early tomorrow, I will do Miami to Jamaica. Or back, one or the other. Because I do want to, you know, what I might do is get on the ground and just transfer over to Jamaica. We'll take a look at Port-au-Prince Airport. Just take a look at what we're going to be flying to. Watching these clouds change. Change while you're looking at them. You can sit here and do cloud splitting, right? Yeah, that was actually my plan, but I had to take my son to get something to eat, so. How far are we away? We're gonna go down low. See, with these displays, you can't really read them when you're... Like, see, I would expect to be able to see that, read it that well, sitting here. Right? Sitting right there. But, you know, and I gotta figure out what the right, position is. Oh yes, they're I call them opportunities, and that's how I feel about it too. Um, they have lots of opportunities to fix things. Not just bugs, but things that they could improve. You know, and who knows where they're going to start. You know, I mean, if they've got a team that's working on FMSs, if it were me, I would work on the G1000, the G3000 probably, since it's so immensely popular and in so many airplanes. And then I'd probably think about, you know, what to do there. Maybe the Collins. But then they've also got, if they're going to stick with doing airliners, which I'm not sure that they should, because you know those have been done to death. Okay, go to camera, expand pilot. Okay, so close. Pilot. See, that seems really close to me for a pilot. I mean, really? What I like to do is go to this external view and okay, let's see if I can do this. I'll go here and look where the pilot's eyes are, keeping in mind that that person right there on the right is a female and she's small, but that's where her eyes are, looking straight out. So she can see above the dash, but not by much. The guy sitting next to her is a little bit taller. So now if I go to pilot here, see, can I see above the dash right here? And then here's landing, so that's probably close. You know, so that's and then co-pilot. So yeah, the displays look better there. And then the instruments. Let's have a look at what the instruments do. So no, they still rattle around when I camera type is fixed look, free look, free look. Alright, don't know what that means. Yeah, it seems to rock back and forth. You should have an option to turn that off. You know, because when you're trying to click buttons, you know, or seem to work. I don't know. I really don't know what free look means. I think that's just. I think that's free look there, where you move and the momentum is. I don't know what instruments auto select is. Okay, so let's have a look what we got there. So where is my pilot again? There he is. There's pilot, there's landing. And I can pretty much read that. And I can read that. It's not great, but it's okay. Oh, refs menu. That's handy. You know, these are so alike. Elapsed time. External view with 50 speed and the joystick hets, which is impossible. So that's where they think I should look, and this is where I've set myself to look. And I don't know how to select pilot view without using the camera menu. Landing. See, for landing, they're, you know, in some sense that makes sense, because, you know, I would think that that was something like what I would look at. Maybe I need to set that into another button. You know, when I'm over the numbers, you know, switch to that view, which I could do. Because you really don't need all this when you're landing. 38 miles. I guess I need to start down. So, out. See, if I do that, yeah, if you move your mouse button, it goes by hundreds or thousands. And if you click with your button instead, then it goes down by hundreds. So that's a little clever. So we'll go down 1,500 feet per minute. Maybe we'll pull out some speed brakes. Look at that view up there. My lord. Yeah, I would think this is a little bit. That looks like a nice view right there. A little bit of a compromise. try that. Control Alt 8. So the plan is to land ILS to 1-4. Okay. And I guess I need to look at the friggin' approach. Where do I find the friggin' approach? I would have to bring up Navigraph. It definitely hear the engines. MINN. Charts. ILS to 1-4. And I need 110.1. Where do I set 110.1? Not there, not here. I'm baffled. Oh, there they are. There's COM1, COM2. COM1, COM2, COM1, COM2. You know, if I can find the friggin' runway, I might just be able to put it down that way. Because I don't see... The speed's getting a little low here. Oh, sure, yeah. Let's just keep on going down. Alt. $20 miles away, and I have no way to dial in nav 2. I don't know where they would pop up. I mean, hard to know. Yeah, I don't know where you dial in nav 1, nav 2. You know, and where's your standby frequency? I got nothing. This is strange. This is strange to me. Fuses. So set nav1 volume to max. I mean, there could be a radio tune. Here we go. Okay. 110.1 is tuned in. Alright, what about the course? The course is 143. And so is that... Okay, so swap frequencies, but where's the frickin' frequencies to swap? Course 143. Where's course? See, there's course VOR1, but that doesn't do anything. I did click Alt. See, some of this stuff, I don't know if it's me screwing up or the airplane screwing up. See? Okay, well, let's click approach. Screw it. Where's approach? Approach transfer? How about... No. And approach, it's got the localizer. Thinks it does. Just have to keep our eye on this. See, it's just climbing. Why is it climbing? Baffled. This airplane is baffling. Yeah, I don't, you know, it's got a button for it, but it doesn't work. The button for the FMC doesn't work. I don't remember my speeds for this airplane. See, now it's climbing again. Why is it climbing? I click Alt, and it stops climbing. It's still on. It's still on localizer. And there's no altitude in this window. And these don't work. Yeah, this is a frustrating airplane is what this is. Now it's climbing again. Like, I don't know if this view is going to work. I think it's pretty close to what it needs to be, but I'm not sure because I feel like I'm looking up. Maybe because I'm nose high though, because I'm, let's see, I think I said about 62% power to land, if this is like the CJ2. And if this thing's got the localizer, then why is that over there? Loc 1. Nav source is VOR1. And now it's climbing again. God. Okay. So I guess the glide slope is up there, localizer's over there. Now it's figured out to connect to the glide slope, or the localizer. Dear Lord, what a mess. Alright.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Alright, I'll put the landing gear down
Landing
too.
gear.
Just because I don't want to listen to that crap. I don't know how far off we are on the localizer. I assumed we were on it when I saw Loc. But now we're going to be going down the glide slope without the localizer. Well, there's the island straight ahead. And I don't know how far off the approach we are here. I mean, we could be... I mean, is it over there? If so, why are we not correcting for it? Oh, let's transfer autopilot to the left. Heading... Oh, friggin' approach button was right there. I'll tell you what. Let's go heading mode. Sync. Yeah, I'm gonna ignore it. I'm fishing around for something I don't know where it is. Because here's my magenta line over here. But and I honestly, but the approach should be this way, and why is the magenta line over here? So it looks like it might be from there. So I think what I'll do is I will go left. I'll enter kind of a downwind. And then I'll come back towards this fix here, which I think is going to be the right fix. Yeah, the glide slope's going back up. Yeah. This is an old school type navigation system, so it's good, honestly speaking, if you're used to flying just with, the new super nice nav systems. This will straighten you out in a hurry. Alright, so what altitude? We're 20, now we're descending again. Who told you to descend? Now it's climbing. Alright, so now let's go this way. Yeah. I think, you know, there's lots of things they need to work on. You know, this head movement thing is fine. It's pretty decent, actually. But it needs options. Because sometimes you can't have your head moving all over the place when you're trying to hit a knob with a mouse pointer. And, they're going to frustrate people if they have that like that all the time. Okay, so now I'm turning this way. My altitude is still climbing, but very slowly. I have no idea why. And we will click, where's that approach button? There it is. That should do it. Now, let's zoom in and see what we got up here. We're on heading with localizer pending. We're on pitch mode. Pitch? That would explain a lot. Alt capture and glide slope. We're at 2,500 feet. Gear's already down. Okay, so it's turning on its own, so I have to assume that it's coming up on the localizer this time, even though that line's not moving. And that's not moving. There it comes. Just in time. Just in time. Doing 180 knots. Dear Lord. This airplane flies a lot different than the CJ2 did. I'll have to look up some vids on the CJ2. Alright, so let's get the speed. I don't mind a little wind. It's my first time landing this plane. I'm gonna not have it fighting me. So I believe we should be doing about 140. 120. Wow, what an approach, huh? Let's put the last nuts and flaps out. We went 110 knots. And sinking like a rock. Where's this thing going? We're all visual here. It like lost control of the ILS. Still, this is pretty. God, how much are we willing to forgive for pretty? And see if my reverse thrust work. Well, I guess we would just go on up to the end anyway. I guess it just lost control of the ILS because it just started down. It was just sinking. Thank you. I like this view for the landing. I usually try to keep the displays entirely in my view, but really nothing south of where I'm, nothing below, you know, off the screen matters. But yeah, there's a lot to forgive here. There's a lot to forgive. I assume this is a taxiway. Alright, so flaps up. And I never turn the landing lights on, just pitot heat. You know, it's not a bad Nassau. I didn't look at it that closely. We'll take a look in a second. Lots of palm trees. I'm a sucker for palm trees. It reminds me of the X-Plane one. Yeah, other people were talking about the turning radius on the, I'll pull up here by this building. I don't know what that kind of a building is. Other people were complaining about the turning radius on the longitude, besides me. Oh, and look at this. This means that I'm sitting too far away from the instruments right here. So if I do this, that's where it thinks I should be sitting. See where the white ball is lined up with the orange ball like that? So now if I zoom out, that's what it thinks my view is supposed to be. Maybe down a bit. Actually, up a bit, right about there. Interesting. I wonder how accurate that is compared to you know, I wonder if they actually made that accurate. It may be off. With all the other things that they've got off on this thing, it very well may be off. But that's what you're supposed to use to figure out where you're supposed to be sitting. So let's see, let's just take a look here. So if I look out this way, I'm a little bit to the forward of center on this window. Now let's go outside. Let's have a look at where the pilot is sitting. Here and outside, external. Okay, so she is sitting back from where I'm sitting, right? Yeah, she's not quite. She's on the back side of the... I'm sorry, I'm having a lot of trouble doing this. You can see he's a little bit taller. But she's right here towards the back half of this window. If I go back inside and look here, I'm on the forward side of that window, and it's telling me that I'm sitting too far away. So there's something goofy. So, you know, that says a lot. Personally, I think I like this view for landing. But, dear Lord, I don't know. You know, you gotta figure this out too. Let me come down here. Since you really can't read your display very well. Is there a bevel right there? Not really. So if I go here, you know, it's hard to read that. So it's going to be hard to fly with that. And yeah, may have to be a... may have to avoid this airplane. If I load up the longitude, can I do that without doing anything else? Let's see if we can do that. Let's see. So I'll have to restart, won't I? Oh, you can load and save. Alright, and then if I... Yeah, I mean, if I criticize this thing, you know, I would say, if I compared it to FSX, which was their last sim, it's far better than FSX ever was. FSX had barely any nav systems whatsoever, and this one has, that I've counted about, not counting the big jets, which each has their own, it has about 5 or 6. It's got the GNS 530, I believe it's got a 430, which is real similar. Then there's a G1000, G3000 Collins system, so that's 5 right there. You know, so it's got that, even though they're all borked. They're all messed up, but they're there. And then obviously the visuals, you know, blow, you know, all the sims away, including, you know, FSX was left in the dark, you know, long ago. I mean, you think about it, you know, that when they, at 2009, when they left simming, the graphics in FSX were horrendous compared to this. You know, it was all just flat textures. And, you know, a little bit of texture work. And then, so they got that. They've got a bunch of really nice looking airplanes with, and really desirable airplanes. You know, and the flight models seem, for the most part, to be okay. You know, I worry that, what happened here? I didn't tell it to do that. Oh, I hit restart. You know, and when FSX came out, it had, if I remember correctly, it had like it had a Cessna 182 or 172. I think it had a 172. It had like a Bonanza of some kind. I think it had like a either a 747 or something like that. Had a glider. You know, and you know, look at all these airplanes. So as a kickoff sim, you know, it's probably, you know, think about X-Plane's default airplanes. You know, they're pretty poor. I mean, they're okay. You know, people have done a lot of work to them. You can get lots of mods to them. Okay, so if I go to profile, switch airplanes, and change airplanes, and we load the longitude, and go back, and then we can just go profile, nope, not profile, welcome, and we can just load up at min and set as departure and fly. Of course, now it's going to set it on the runway, but that's all right. Oh, Lucas left us. He had to go to sleep. Yep. His time zone is east of me. And he can't fly this right now. He's going to have to get a whole new PC to do this. He lives in Brazil, so... Okay, now it's nighttime. Alright, it's alright. Let's see, we're ready to fly. There it is. Okay, yeah, this one, see, you can read this easy. So let's go what it says here. Cameras. And we'll go pilot, landing. It says there. So might need to make some adjustments there. Let's go daytime. And then close. See, this is what I was doing. That's what I was doing with my landing. And that's a little bit far away. So if I went like this, that's probably about where I need to be. Let's see how that compares to landing. Oh, oops. That's not right. That's never going to work. Oh, that's because I zoomed in, right? Let's click landing. Okay, so that's landing to them. And then if I go, so you can barely make out the top of this compass. And then if I go, I'll go back here and go here and then zoom in. So I probably do need to move in at least that far. So I'm going to have to compromise there some. But if I look outside, see where they say the pilot is sitting. I've got to learn how to do this. Alright, so she's... Oh. Frustrating. So she's sitting a little bit forward of center. And if I go here and I look left, well, I'm a little forward of center. Let's do that again. Yeah. Okay, so it's right about there is the right spot, and then the right zoom. That would work. That would have to work. Maybe with a little bit of adjustment. I gotta get the height right too. So yeah, those are all the things I think about. Good night, Bill. Good night. Sorry, I'm just sitting here trying to figure this thing out. Those are all the things that go into my thinking when I'm trying to find the right place to sit, because that matters when you're trying to figure out how much where the runway, the end of the runway. So you pull up and you're looking at the end of the runway. What does it line up to on the dash? So if you keep moving your dash around, you can never figure it out. Sitting on a pillow and stuff. Anyway, all right. I will call it a night too. So you guys have a good night. Sleep well. We'll keep working on this. I'll keep working on it, and we'll maybe I might do an X-plane tomorrow, to be honest.